Very good morning to all of you. On behalf of Reg Campus, I warmly welcome all of you to this special webinar. Dear ladies and gentlemen, today most of you may aware that we will be speaking about the Australian qualification that Reg Campus offers you in collaboration with Alana Kaye College, Australia. So therefore, Reg Campus as the pioneer a foreign education provider with more than 28 years of experience have joined hands with Alana Kaye College, one of the leading TAFE colleges in Australia, Northern Territory, uh, is here to offer you this particular course, Certificate for in Aging Support course for you. So currently we are successfully conducting this course to our students. And today we are here to talk about this course and also the migration opportunities that is ahead for you after completing this course. So talking about Alana Kaye College. So if I share my screen, Alana Kaye College is the best private TAFE college in the Northern Territory of Australia. And also, AKC provides high quality training as an Australian registered training organization under the criteria number 03675K for national and international students. And also they meet all the standards of agreed standards that are agreed by the Australian government. So the campus is in there are two campuses in Alana Kaye College, but one is in Darwin, in the capital of Northern Territory of Australia, and the second campus is in Gold Coast in Queensland. Also, they have won many awards from the government for providing high quality education as an international education provider. More importantly, they are recognized as the Center of Excellence in the Northern Territory, providing training and assessment skills and qualifications by this Northern Territory. So, without taking much time, let me introduce the speakers today. Very specially today, we have invited Ms. Alana Anderson, the Chief Executive Officer of Alana Kaye College. So she is a dedicated dynamic educator, entrepreneur who has the passion for empowering individuals through knowledge and skills. So today she's here with us, and dear Ms. Alana, your presence is a great honor for us. And also today we have Mr. David Thompson, the manager, international operations, who is responsible for building relationships in all areas of international associations and business growth. And we have Ms. Catherine Beeger, the national training manager. She is also a dedicated educator, mentor, and inventor in the field of BET education, who is responsible for shaping the academic and cultural landscape of the institute. And also today we have invited Mr. Akash Budothoki. I'm sorry if I pronounce the name incorrect. He's the founder, director of Amazing Education Visa Services and also a visa migration consultant who has many years of experience in this field. So he will also speak about he will also answer your questions on visa process and new visa categories which are related to this profession. So, and also today we have Dr. Maheshika Vanyarachi, the Sri Lankan coordinator who conduct the trainings for our students. And she will also talk about this training here in Sri Lanka within this course. Without taking much time, and also today we have our chairman, Dr. Lasantha Amrakon. He's our mentor, who is like continuously guiding us to do a successful job in this course So he's also here today with us, despite of his busy schedule. Thank you very much for joining here, sir. It's a great honor to us. So today, without taking much time, I will now invite Miss Alana Anderson to speak to you all, because there are a lot of, please stay tuned. There are a lot of important information for you to gather through this webinar. And I request all of you to drop your questions during the speeches. So our rec team and the speakers will answer all your questions. So stay tuned. This will definitely be a good opportunity. You have a chance to meet the university representatives and also the migration consultant to solve all your questions. So let me again invite Ms. Alana Anderson to address you all.
Excuse me. Thank you very much. Thank you. And welcome everybody to the webinar. Cash, nice to see you again. Welcome. We look forward to your advice later on.
Thank you, Alana.
I do have an apology from our international manager, David. Unfortunately, he's sick. He's in Adelaide in Australia, and I'm actually in the Gold Coast in Australia at the moment. And I'm not sure about Catherine. Once again, it's Sunday here, and in Australia, we don't work on Sundays normally. So it's a bit unusual for us. A little bit about the college, and thank you, Pulsara, for what you said about the college. We've been operating now for nearly 15 years, I suppose. And as you know, we started off quite small and we've grown quite large now over time. We have about just over 1,000 students. They are both domestic and international students. And we also have some students in Sri Lanka already. So, and that program is working really, really well with the help of REC and with the staff that they've got over there. Dr. Lasantha has been promoting this for some time. It's really, I suppose I can talk a little bit about the qualification. In Australia, there is a huge demand for people to work in aged care because, as you know, everybody's getting older, aren't we all? And there are not many people that are qualified to help the elderly as they get older, in Australia particularly, because different to other countries, most of the time in Australia, aged people will go into homes and will go into different environments than living with their family, which happens a lot in other countries. So it's in huge demand, and the Australian qualification is well known throughout the world. If you can get an Australian qualification, then you're pretty lucky, because it's world renowned. You could get jobs in, I don't know, Doha, UAE, Dubai, England, anywhere, looking after the elderly, if you can tell them that you've got an Australian qualification. Okay. We've done a lot of work. Dr. Lasantha and Dr. Mahishika have done a lot of work over there, getting people to help with the program over there, because with the Certificate for in Ageing Support, you have to demonstrate that you are working in an aged care facility. So they have both, all of them over there in REC campuses, worked hard, and there is some aged care facilities that we are now associated with over there, and part of your training will be to work in those aged care facilities. It's a requirement of the qualification. You can't get the qualification without demonstrating that you do 120 hours, okay? Doesn't have to be in Australia, it can be over there. To do the qualification, it is online, okay? So we have an online portal, learning management system called Cloud Assess. Once you enroll, which we hope you do, once you enroll, you will get access to this Cloud Assess, and that's where you will do your assessments, your theory questions and some practical assessments. The rest is done over there in REC campus and in Sri Lanka, where you do practical. So where you, and Dr. Mahishika has been organising this for the last lot, where you look after the elderly and all that sort of stuff as well. So you demonstrate you can do it. There are 18 units of competency in this qualification. Okay, so that means there are 18 modules, if you like. And there are 15 core and 3 electives. It's 18, yeah, okay. and you have to do them all. And you have to do work placement. Once you've done them all, you will be deemed competent. Can I just point out too, in Australia, with vocational qualifications like this, you cannot fail. There is no pass and fail. You're either competent or not yet competent. If you're not yet competent, you've got to study some more and redo the assignments again. Okay? So you don't fail. You just either competent or not yet competent. As soon as you're competent in all of the 18 units and you've done your work placement, you will get the qualification. That's the way the system works over here in Australia. You will have access to a trainer in Australia, so that'll help you as well. You will have access to all Alana Kaye's staff. We also have a team of administrators in the Philippines as well, so in Manila. So you'll have access to them as well once you join the program. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I need to tell you? As I said, we've been around for a long time. We've trained many, many students over time in this qualification. And I wouldn't suggest it if I didn't think it would help. I can't personally talk to you about visas. That's what our AQF is going to do later on. We are a college and our job is to train people. That's what we do. It's not our job to give advice on visas and permanent residencies and all that sort of stuff in Australia. I can't help you with that. Neither can any of my team, because we don't really know enough about it. That's why we need to have the support of people like our AQF from amazing education agents there. They're the ones that help the students during and after, if they want to go to Australia or anywhere else really for that matter. I don't know, is there anything else that I should be talking about, Pulsara? I'm sure there's going to be some questions later on.
Yes, since Miss Catherine is not there, I think Dr. Mahishika will talk about the overall course details. So we have two questions. Is it like, shall we
Yep.
answer the questions right now, or shall we wait until the end?
I'm good with that. That's fine.
Yeah, and there's one question
okay.
from the
What is the
participants.
difference
Yeah,
between individual
difference
support and
between,
aged care?
exactly. Yes.
Yep. Okay, that's a good question. Certificate 3 in individual support is a lower level qualification. Okay, in Australia you have certificate 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you go into diplomas and things like that. So certificate 3 in individual support is a lower level qualification, and it doesn't specifically talk about aged care. It has aged care in it, but it also has disability and a few other things in there as well. So it's almost like, and you don't have to do it first. It's not a prerequisite to do the Cert 4. The Cert 4 is a higher qualification. You get more specialised training in there dealing with the elderly. That's probably the biggest difference. I know that there are a few people over there who are doing the Certificate 3 in individual support. I think to do the Certificate 4, it puts you a little bit higher. It's a higher level qualification with more specific training, looking after elderly people. I hope that helps. Yes, certainly. If you've already got the Cert 3 in individual support, yes, you can. Sorry, I'm not 100% well myself, so sorry about that. Yes, you can. It's just a qualification before. It's the first qualification you can get, the Certificate 3. So yes, you will advance up into the next one, into a Certificate 4. And it will help you. If you want to go somewhere and you've demonstrated that you're still learning, and AQF might talk to you about this as well, if you can demonstrate that you are continuing on with your training in that one field, then that will help you as well in future. To say, yeah, I did the Cert 3, really enjoyed it. I now want to do the Cert 4. Yeah? What's the highest level you can go in aged care? The Certificate 4. Well, in the vet sector, in the vocational sector, Certificate 4 is the highest level, specifically targeted at aged care, okay? You can go up after that to what's called a Diploma of Community Services, but that's a broader qualification. It's a higher qualification, but it's broader. It actually talks about a lot of other things besides aged care. But that's Certificate 4 in Aging Support is the highest one. And remember too, when you're doing it, you know, you can do training courses that aren't under the Australian qualification framework. So you've got to be a little bit careful, make sure the Cert 3 that you're talking about there, that would have come under the Australian qualification framework. It's got to always have a code in front of it to make sure that it's an authentic qualification that you're getting, okay? I'm not saying that you're not getting them, but you just got to be careful that you're doing the right thing. And that's where talking to RSE Campus and talking to us will help you further in knowing whether you're enrolling in the right thing or not. Yeah?
Yes, Ms. Alana, thank you very much for the explanation. And I will now invite Dr. Maheshika to give an overview about the course and also about the training that is done in Sri Lanka.
Thank you, Pulsara. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, doctor, we can hear you.
Hi, good morning, everybody. So before this, let me start. I just wanted to, I think Alana may also help me to, I was going through the questions, and this is about actually this course certificate for imaging support. As you all must be aware, in Australian qualification framework, there are 10 levels, as Alana clearly mentioned. So the first 4 is at certificate level, then it goes to diploma, then bachelor's, then master's, and it goes up to PhD, right? So you were asking about the I mean, certificate for aging. It is really it's a more specialized course, and third one is the level. It's the first, second, third, and fourth. So obviously it is more specialized. And Alana, can you just clarify this thing? I think to follow, there may be some here today, the participants who have completed third one and who have not completed third, or I mean, who have not done third one. So I think it's nothing is there like you have to complete third, then you go to the fourth. No, you have straight away you can start fourth, right?
Yes. Yeah, you don't have to finish the third to go on to the fourth.
Yes. So this is more specialized one, advanced one. So the fourth one, as you see, it's up in the ladder, fourth stage, right? Fourth level. Okay. Now let me talk about the course delivery in Sri Lanka. This is sessions are conducted by the trainers of Alana College, Australia, and also REC campus. But the course sessions, everything conducted, assessment, everything conducted by Alana College, and it's a mode of delivery is hybrid, means because 120 hours training is conducted here in Sri Lanka, and also the skill session. So that is why where the REC campus get engaged, and where I get engaged in this training, skills training sessions, right? So you will have this learning management system, Alana College. Once you get registered, they will give the access to that, and all the learning materials are there. So it is everything, and we will have a few sessions with their trainers. They will guide you, but all the materials are there, since this is all, you know, adult learning. So it's all you have to, there are learner guides are there, PowerPoint presentations are there. So you will have to you will have access to everything. So you have to refer everything. And where we come inside REC campus, the academic team, so I will be involved in, I will be supporting you. Time to time we will be monitoring you, and where you get stuck, we will help you out. So this is where we follow up, progress follow up will be done by our side, right? And also the skills training sessions. And other than that, everything is, you have everything you will have to manage with the learning management system. But we will definitely, we are giving the support, we will give the plan everything, how to do it, how, and you will have time to time discussions with AKC, and this is the 120 hours work placement. This is a mandatory requirement for there are, as Alana said clearly, there are 18 units. 17 units or 18, yeah, 18 units. So if we, so this is one unit. Basically, this 120 hours cover this particular unit, right? Support independence and well-being. So 120 hours, we will be sending you. It's not only, we will be covering several areas. One is a aged care home, and the other one is a hospital setting, and also rehabilitation center for dementia patients. So we will give all three play exposures for you to complete the 120 hours, where you gather a huge experience and exposure. So these are the units. Yeah, so the unit assessment will be like this only. You have to log into your LMS. When you get this learning management system access, all these units are there. So if I take the first unit, it has formative assessment, learner workbook, and summative. Formative means you have to read the learner guide, and it is, as you all know, formative means while you are doing the course, you just have to gather the basic knowledge, right? Then you have to write the answers. In that, you have to assign, there are formative assignments, questions are there. It's all theoretical questions and some scenario type ones, but you have to read the learner guide. Then formative assessment, then summative means at the end. So there may be some activities. So those things are, you will be guided by us when it comes to summative assessment, because we have, when we are doing some group activities, we will coordinate with Alana Kaye also, and we will be telling, like, communicating with them, this is how we are going to these things, do this particular assessment. And we have already, we will give you the particular group will get the instructions. When are we going to do, when is this skill session, when is this assignment, and all this will be guided. And other 16 units, you will not have this learner workbook thing. You have just formative and summative. And as Alana said, it's like you will get the result like competent or not yet competent. And you will get, if you will successfully complete it, then you will get the result in that LMS in your profile, right? So your study plan, you will have to, as soon as you register, we will give you the study plan. The whole batch will have the starting date and the end date, and we will be sharing a tentative training plan with Alana Kaye College. Now, let's say it's 18 units, so 3 units per month. So for that only, we are here to guide you, to monitor the progress. And of course, we are getting time to time this progress report from Alana Kaye College. So they are like, we will get to know who are, if you are a little bit back with the timeline, so we will have to support you. So we are giving that support. And the logbook, there's a logbook to be completed for the 120 hours work placement. So as I told you, it's in a care home, hospital setting, and rehabilitation center. I think Ms. Pulsara will, Pulsara, if you have some, the previous group we conducted, you will get some idea what we have done. She may have some photographs also. And what I have to tell you is, you have to know, even though we give the training plan for you, we will be, according to that plan, we will give the schedule. Like we have all the skill sessions and progress review sessions at Rec Campus all Sundays. Other days we will give you the whole plan and also individual plan, because you know, we have to, maybe you all are not in the same level, right? So I will be giving, the academic team will be giving you the guidance wherever, whenever necessary. So we will monitor the progress and one-to-one guidance. And also, as I told you, the summative assessments, those activities will be planned and designed by us. So that's how we are conducting this thing. And as you all know, this is if you are planning, of course, the participants who are today you have this idea of migrating and settle down in Australia. So this is a good opportunity, and to work as a caregiver in Australia, only qualification is this is what you need, or aged care certificate 4 in, I mean, we are offering this thing, but yes, you have certificate 3 also. So you, anyway, you need an Australian qualification to work as a caregiver in Australia. So this is a good opportunity, and Pulsara will talk about the spot offers we are offering today. I think it's all from my side, Pulsara. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Maheshika. That was indeed a very informative explanation about our training here in Sri Lanka and also the course details. So, yeah, as the Dr. Maheshika said, today we will be giving a spot offer. Actually, we will be waiving off the upfront payment of 25,000 if you register today for this course. So that is given by our management. That offer is given to you by your management. So you have to register today. If someone register today, you will get that offer.
Hi everyone, good morning. My name is AQF from Amazing Education and Visa Services Australia. First of all, I'd like to thank host and panelists for today. Alana, it's been a while. We haven't seen each other. But hearing everything from Dr. Lasantha, Dr. Punsika, I think, or
Maheshika.
yeah, sorry for that. So I think this is a fantastic project, and this should definitely help so many students to get into or to get the insights and the standards and the compliance, both ethical, legal, and everything about the Australian caregiving industry, disability, aging, or care industry, which I think will bridge a huge gap when you come to Australia for different regions. You might get married, or you might have a partner in Australia already. You might come to join them as the dependent, but then you already have this idea, you are industry ready. So thank you everyone to bring this wonderful project. And I believe the attendees today will have clear understanding. And we'll try to find more information through websites. You can browse Alana Kaye website as well. And I see the course presented by the speaker, the units of competency, like the modules. It's exactly same with what students in Australia get when they study at Alana Kaye College. So obviously, I would suggest everyone to do some more research, because Alana Kaye website is one of the best, website. If I compare that with so many other vet providers, it's so detailed. You can find out about the course duration, structure, and the units of competency and everything. So thank you so much once again, everyone. Okay, coming to the question, should we need a skill assessment? Straight away answer is no. All right, we don't need a skill assessment. But then again, when you have questions like this, I believe your question is indirectly indicating the way you want to come to Australia. And there are several ways. It's not an easy process. It's a complex, but at some point, in some cases, it's easy as well, having said that you have met the eligibility requirements. And well, so the answer is no, you don't need the skill assessment. All you need to have a qualification and probably some work experience, which I believe Red Campus is working out on the placements and the work experience as well, like to create the platform where student can have the practical learning experience, or probably where they can work. So the answer is no, if that's the only question. And thank you so much for this opportunity. So if there is anything else I can add, I will, but the answer to that question is no.
Yes, thank you very much.
Sorry, can I just ask Akash something? If they do this qualification in Sri Lanka, they're not coming out to Australia as applying for international students. are there other options for them to come out to Australia from a visa perspective that is not under the student visa stream?
Sure. Thank you for the question. Indeed. First of all, to all the participants today, and also you might circulate this to your friend. This is like really, the qualification at the moment has really high demand. A lot of students, even in Australia, are going to studying this qualification because there are so many disability providers, there are so many aged care homes, nursing homes, and there was during the time of COVID, there was a huge shortage of the workforce in this industry, including enrolled nurses and registered nurses. So this is really good course that I can vouch to so many students across the globe, number one. Number two, what I suggest to everyone is in this course, especially when you work in Australia, graduating courses like this, apart from the academic skills, the placements and trainings that you have, you also need to work out on your communication or the English language proficiency level. So I suggest everyone who enrolls in this course to simultaneously develop your communication skills as well, because yes, there is a visa option for graduates of this course. You not necessarily have to apply for Bachelor's of Nursing or Bachelor's of Humanitarian Aid or Bachelor's of Community Services if you don't want to study. There are regional visa options for to be very specific aged care and disability worker, right? That's the title, and that for you to avail that particular regional visa options, like in case of NT as well, Northern Territory, or so many regional areas in Australia, there is a visa called visa category called DAMA, which is called Designated Area Migration Agreement. So DAMA is for regional employers. So in regional area in Australia, employers like nursing home, disability care support provider, they struggle to find the worker. And that's where they want to bring workers from outside Australia if they are eligible, or suitable to bring. And part of the requirement is relevant qualification, and normally it's 1 year of work experience in the relevant field, but also, in so many other different occupations. So let's consider truck driver or a forklift driver. English requirement might not be applied in their case, but when it comes to aged care and disability worker, English requirement is there. Now, what's the requirement? Is that very high? No, that's functional English, IELTS overall 5, not less than 5. I do have a lot of Sri Lankan clients, and I do understand that the level of English is very good. So I suggest when you study this course, you practically improve your English language as well. Now, coming to Alana's question again. So not necessarily have to apply for a student visa. However, let me tell this to you. Let's say if you finish this course and if you want to study Bachelor's of Nursing, Bachelor's of Humanitarian Aid and Community Services, or Bachelor's of Community Services, or even Diploma of Community Services 2 years program, even in Alana Kaye, because Alana Kaye offers Diploma of Community Services as well. When you apply, it will have, your profile would be overall very positive because you have already completed the relevant qualification. And that is also an Australian qualification while staying in Sri Lanka. So it will also assist when you apply your student visa, showing that you are a genuine student who wants to pursue genuine course in the relevant field of study, right? So you have finished something in aging support, and now you're doing Bachelor's of Nursing. So obviously you have done a relevant qualification. You spent some time in vocational placement. You have spent some time maybe after graduating from Rec Campus, you worked for 6 months. So it all adds up to the merits of your application, right? So there is advantage when you apply for a student visa, number one. Number two, if you manage to find a job after you graduate, then obviously, because when I look at the requirement of a DAMA, for aged care and disability work, which I shared with Dr. Lasantha as well earlier. So it's just that you have to have the relevant qualification, which is definitely Certificate 4 of aging support. And then you have to have the overseas work experience of 1 year. Then a disability or an aged care provider in Australia can sponsor you under the DAMA program. So you don't need the skill assessment. However, yes, there is a kind of skill assessment from the migration NT department. So, the state government, and that's not a full-fledged skill assessment as the skill assessment by other bodies like ANMAC and other things. So I would say this course can give you multiple opportunities and make you an individual who is very skilled from a very ground level, particular level, when you work later on when you work in a aged care and disability or nursing home, So I would 100% vouch for this course. And yes, this has the option, merits, both when you apply the student visa and also if you meet the eligibility criteria, and if you find a sponsor, they can sponsor you.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well explained. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. That is well said, Mr. Akash. So most of the students are asking this question, like, what are the opportunities as a under 482 visa category to obtain a job visa? So is there what is the current status now? That is, people are
Okay.
asking the most.
So again, guys, see, I mean, there could be a lot of questions around this area, but in this webinar, I believe I can only give you the general ideas. Now that you have asked, is the 482 visa option going to change after month of November? At this stage in Australia, so many people are taking advantage of the 482 visa because there is high competition, in other skill visa categories. So I believe 482 visa is going to be much more easier in coming days. I have also got some heads up from some of the migration agents that the business will be able to sponsor any position that they deem necessary for the business, right? So I can't give you the specific, and there are always changes happening. So 482 visa normally required a person to work in the relevant field for 2 years. Now it's changing to only 1 year. Okay, so it's getting much more easier if you are eligible and if you find a sponsor. And yes, you always need a sponsor. There's another question that after coming to Australia under 482, then working 2 years, they can apply PR. Again, yes, that's the plain answer is yes. But then, there are two different occupation category, which is short-term occupation and medium and long-term occupation. So depending on these short-term and long-term occupation, there are duration that you need to work in 485 in order to apply the permanent visa, which is 186. But again, guys, this is these questions are very specific. All I can tell you is if you finish this qualification in Sri Lanka, let's say if you are not able to secure or come to Australia and you are studying there in Sri Lanka, however, obtaining the Australian qualification, it will give you a clear understanding, clear picture of all the compliance and requirement according to the Australian working environment. Okay. If after the qualification, if you are able to secure a job in a relevant field in Sri Lanka, doesn't matter, Sri Lanka or other countries, as Alana emphasized that other countries as well, like in Dubai, Doha, Qatar, and other countries. And I think even in Singapore, because I had a few Filipino students who did qualification in Philippines, but then they were working in Singapore when they applied the student visa to Australia. So if you obtain the relevant work experience, then yes, there is a pathway. There will always be pathway because countries like Australia, they compete with other countries like Canada and US in terms of development. And obviously, this industry also needs more workers as this industry is developing each day. So as long as you are eligible, as long as you have right education, as long as you have right qualification, right understanding, good English, and work experience, I believe there will always be a way to come to Australia, and this will make the whole thing easy with what you're trying to do in Sri Lanka. Thank you.
Cash, do they need financial?
For 482, no.
No, okay.
It's all about eligibility with the qualification and work experience.
Okay.
Well, to answer your question, most of the employers or the aged care homes or disability provider, they actually sponsor complete complete fees. Like they sponsor, some of they sponsor, they are so, if they find the right candidate, they not only pay your visa application fee, but they also arrange your travel, accommodation, and everything. If some of the regional, if there is a provider who is in a remote area, not having, not being able to secure individual, and if someone is eligible and wants to come from the overseas, they are happy to pay for everything. Someone has asked the age limit. The age limit is 55 years of age, for to come in Dharma as aged or disabled carer. The age limit is 55. So see, there are so many concessions when you come to the regional area to work for regional employers. There are English, waiver as well, but unfortunately, because this occupation requires you to handle Australian patient, you need to have high level of care and high level of understanding of English. But then still the required English is functional, just overall IELTS 5, not less than 5.
All right.
Okay, and there's another question. It says, do you need AFRA registration, AFRA registration? That I think that is related to doctors, right? It's not for this category, right?
Alana, you go ahead. You don't
What
need
was the question? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. What was it?
APRA registration.
Would you need what, sorry?
APRA registration, the
APRA
Australian
registration.
No,
Health
no,
Practice
Don't need,
Registration.
yes.
no, not for
That's
this
only
one.
for nurses. That's only for nurses, enrolled nurses, registered nurses, or
Yeah.
others.
Correct. When you get into the diploma, then you can get some sort of accreditation, but certainly with the Cert 4, no.
This is another question. Is this related to the course? They're asking about the course fee and the duration. So the duration is 6 months because the theory part is done online and the practicals are done parallelly. So the course fee is 400 AUD, the registration fee, and also the course fee is 7 lakhs. So there is a installment option also. You can do the whole course fee payment within 3 installments. Can we apply with NVQ 3 certificate qualification?
No, Pulsara, this is
Your local.
Yeah, this is
no, to work as
You
a
need to have
caregiver
a-
in Australia, you need the Australian qualification,
Australian
right?
qualification, AQF framework. You have to complete a course under AQF qualification. So you have that is AQF certificate you have to have, not NVQ.
NUQ is a Sri Lankan qualification, and I think that's the
NVQ is a
Yes,
Sri
option.
Lankan qualification,
Yeah.
yes. That will be added qualification, but still you have
but
to,
you have to do
to
the
apply, you
Australian
have to
qualification.
have Australian qualification framework course.
Yep.
And Pulsar, there's another question whether because this is, I just wanted to repeat it again, 120 hour, this is within the course. So we don't, like someone is asking about the pay slips, no, it's nothing. It's the course. It's not a paid work or anything. 120 hours is within the course. You have to, it's mandatory to complete it. And the evidence will be the logbook entries you will have to finish. Once you finish all these tasks, you will have to complete the logbook. So it is nothing like, it's not like paid work or anything, right?
Oh, well, I just wanted to say, if you have any questions about the course itself, certainly talk to REC Campus and my team. And we will do that as part of the course cost. It's part of what you do. As far as Akash is concerned, that's a different thing altogether. He is obviously an agent and who specialises in visas. So there may be, and I don't know Akash, it's your business, but I would assume there's going to, if they want to take this further, then there will be a cost to them as far as you're concerned. Yeah.
Yeah. Once again, this NVQ level 3, 4, no, with none of these, because it's our own here national qualification. So with that you cannot apply. You need an Australian qualification, which comes under Australian qualification framework. So it is nothing like, you know, whether you have completed how many hours on the job training with level 4, but it will not work for Australia. It's you need to get an Australian qualification. I just repeat.
Yeah, I think anyway, the Trek Campus provide this NVQ training as well, together with this Alana Kaye qualification. Am I correct, Mahishika? So they will get just the additional qualification they get.
But you have to
free of charge.
Yeah.
But that is not sufficient to,
you know, yes, you have to
work in Australia.
some assessment thing is there, but you will get it without any cost. We are offering you this NVQ level 4, this tally with NVQ level 4, and we are offering it, but you have to additionally few assessments are there. And
we want to highlight that this Australian qualification is much advanced than our Sri Lankan qualification. So anyway, you will get the Sri Lankan qualification as well.
Well, I hear so many nurses are applying from overseas, and so many employers are getting overseas nurse, the 482 on the 482 labor agreement, and even happening in Darwin, there's a lot of aged care and disability care support provider are sponsoring people under 482. There are some providers who are very keen to sponsor their staff member if only they go to 120 kilometers or 200 kilometers away from Darwin, where they have another branch and they're not finding people. So I think this is not true. And if it's true, let's say, for example, you might have some stats and you are asking what are the main factors that hindering the process. This is, well, sometimes, let me tell you, the labor agreement, for a business to get the labor agreement endorsement, it takes time. So it's not an overnight process like other visas. So the business have to get the approval. So that takes, and when they apply for the first approval, it takes 4 to 5 months. So for example, I'll give you just an idea, and that could be the bottleneck maybe. There was a client who called us and who said that she's on a student visa, but finishing her visa soon, so she needs to apply another visa. Her employer is very much ready to sponsor her. I talked to the employer as well. They said, yes, we are ready. And then we asked them, did you already apply for endorsement, or have you already got the labor agreement? They said, no, we don't know anything about it. So, and then when we told them that the labor agreement itself could take 4 to 5 months, that's where they are stuck now, because the applicant doesn't have, further 4 to 5 months to wait. Maybe her visa is expiring soon. So in that case, she might not go for that visa. She will maybe try another visa. So the process itself could be a bottleneck, but once the employer is approved, and then they start doing it, it's a simple, fair and simple process. Well, obviously they need to do the advertisement for 28 days, and they might get someone working onshore. So maybe it's a problem for someone who is offshore. The priority is always to the onshore, but sometimes, the offshore applicants are more qualified, they're more experienced. And so that's where you might have the upper hand, to be sponsored.
And maybe we have more opportunities in Dharma areas, as you have explained, right, than the other areas. Maybe most of the students applied for.
And to those who are interested to study, guys, first of all, I suggest you don't link the course directly with the PR opportunities, because this course is basically for your strong nursing career, or it sets the foundation for your nursing career. And nursing career, not just in Australia, around the globe, as long as your communication is very strong, as long as you have experience, it could be Canada tomorrow, you know, opening for, you know, like maybe 100,000 aged care worker. We need 100,000 aged care worker because it's such a high demand, you know, career. So I suggest when you join, you study properly, you try to understand each unit of competencies, you participate in your placements, and you make yourself very skilled and proficient about all these things. And I believe, you know, this industry always had some migration opportunities to not only Australia, but to Canada, even to US, you know, and so on.
Yeah,
Well
thank
said.
you. Thank you, Akash.
Akash, Dr. Lasante, Akash, one more thing. I think this, whoever the participant, he was not there maybe in the beginning. I remember you said very clearly, skill assessment is not needed, right? The same question is coming up.
Yes.
later.
Yeah, for DAMA or for this occupation, skill assessment doesn't apply.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe later, we after completion of this qualification, we can arrange separate webinar with Akash, especially for this migration and visa matters. We can discuss with Mr. Akash separately. So yeah,
Just
yes.
quickly, whosoever is asking or being particular about skill assessment, I just want to tell you, because you might browse DAMA and then you might browse DAMA requirement. There will be something called you need a skill assessment or obtain a skill assessment from migration NT. So obtaining a skill assessment from migration NT is a completely different thing compared to obtaining a skill assessment from assessing authority by Department of Home Affairs. So it does need a skill assessment, but this skill assessment is not like the skill assessment required by the Department of Home Affairs. It's a basic understanding of, have you done the course? If you are working, what do you do on your, what are your duties and responsibilities? That's how they see, okay, this person has, you know, skills in this area. It's not like the skill assessment requirement by VETSS or APRA or ANMAC or others, you know.
Yeah, Pusra, let me answer that. The last question is the training conducted in weekdays, or like as I told you, it's basically you have this learning management system access, and you have to work on your own with our guidance. We will give you this. We will give you the work training plan. Your like how many units to finish by this month, by this week, and we'll break down into weeks as well. And then we will help you to prepare your own training plan individually. And when it's coming to rec campus, like, you know, physical training, we conduct those physical training sessions, skill sessions, only on Sundays. And other things, like, you know, we conduct some other lectures with our local lecturers. Some, you know, some sessions just to make you understand very clearly. So that is Zoom sessions will be conducted with, you know, we will look into your, I know basically we conduct those things around 6 or 7 o'clock at night, 1 or 2 hour sessions, few sessions, but the physical sessions will be only on Sundays.
Right. Thank you. Thank you, Mashika. And yeah, I wanted to thank Alana for your great support. And we are so proud to have a collaboration with Kaye College, and we are able to give quality education to our Sri Lankan students. And at the same time, I wanted to thank Mr. Akash for giving all the information about necessary information about this visa categories and the migration opportunities. So we wanted to thank you for your great support, especially during this Sunday, attending to this seminar with the short notice and giving your great support. At the same time, I want to thank Mashika, Pulsara, and all our staff for organizing this event. Thank you so much for all the attendees, and I hope that this meeting, during this meeting, you had a chance to get all the answers for your queries. And so please join with us, and we are we will help you for your education and further matters. Thank you so much.